Do I say anything?
Oh my God, we're just being normal.
Oh, jerking around.
Do you want to get your headphones? We'll nail
Crystal takes her shirt off. Stick around. Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Jerkin around. A podcast with Teisha and Crystal. Maybe we were meant to be on video. We started doing this because, well, one, I'm a self-helper and I like listening to podcasts when I drive. I'm always trying to better myself. And then I kind of got sick of bettering myself and found the Giggly Squad. So we're copying. No, I just found it and I actually enjoyed like the escape of just like hanging with girlfriends that aren't really my friends and hearing their stories that were super relatable. And Teisha and I have always, well, we've decided we don't want to be famous, even though no one's asked us to be.
No one's asking.
But we've like talked about it because we think our banter is really funny. Like we've thought that for years. We always tell stories and do all these weird things. So we thought we'd do a reality show years ago, and then we were like, we don't want to be famous because then you become like a devil worshiper maybe and stuff like that. So we didn't want to do that. So we're like, and like it changed, and we want to stay married. We don't want to think we're better than our husbands when we're famous.
Yeah, most reality people get divorced.
Yeah. So we were like, no, we're not doing that. So then we're like, I'm like, we need to do the podcast. I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker, which this doesn't really fall in line with that at all. But I just feel like I've been through a lot of weird things and I've gotten through the other side and I don't believe in giving up. And she's been through a lot of hard times, but she likes to be in denial about the hardships, but she's been through a lot of hard times. We think very similar, and I've always believed, this gets emotional, but like she's my angel from like God. No, but I would if we really got into it. And like that, we just have a different kind of friendship. We did have the break, but I just feel like she's like God's gift to me to like get through life. And I just think everyone deserves to have a Teisha.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, now I'm crying.
Yeah. I just think we're really funny. And I think I'm really humble, you know? No, yeah. I am. No, I think we're really funny. And I think we have like a different perspective on a lot of things in life. I think that a lot of people think that we're funny when we hang out with them. I feel like people are always laughing at us. And we're not afraid to make fun of ourselves and each other. Her making fun of me more so, but
she quietly makes fun of me with her faces.
Yeah. I wouldn't eat a hot dog.
I was just going to say the hot dog story. This is the intro.
No, and the hot dog story this weekend.
Yeah, we'll tell the hot dog story.
No, I just think that I feel like a lot of people would want to just be a part of it because I think it's so fun to be a part of. So like,
and I think in society people don't say the real, and we just maybe have a different. We have a very more traditional belief system on some things, but then we're super edgy on others. So I just think it's more relatable to people that are struggling. And we find that we've had friends that like wanted to get divorced, and we sat and talked to them and told them the real, that our marriages aren't perfect and that we, you know, have both been to counseling and we've done some different things, and that it's okay to not like your husband all the time. That's just a journey that we're on. And one of our friends recently just said, you know what, no one talks about this. That she felt alone because she wasn't liking her husband. And we're like, oh, that's normal. Everybody does that. Like, it's because social media shows that everyone's perfect all the time. And we just want to be the opposite of that. We want to show the real, so that if you are going through A, B, or C, you know that it's totally normal to feel like you're losing at motherhood, at marriage, at your image, your body figure. Like, that's normal. And it's normal sometimes to feel like you're finally conquering those things. And then the next day you're going to feel like you're losing at them again. That's just kind of the journey we're on. So we find that we grow a lot together by talking about everything honestly. And then we find that people around us really enjoy that we're vulnerable. Especially Teisha, that's a gift of hers. She really just like puts it out there like it's fine. That sometimes she flips off her husband.
Like, oh gosh.
Yeah, in our small group, she's telling everyone how she gave her husband the middle finger emoji, and we're like praying, and we told off our Bible study one time. That's a story to tell too. Okay, let's get started. We want to just give you a minute, forget about your problems, and just have a good laugh with our stories of the week.
Well, this weekend, we spent the whole weekend together.
Right, so it's a good one.
Our daughters had a cheer competition, so we took a girls' trip to Vegas and drove together and stayed together and spent
It's not in the same bed.
Waking moment together.
So in high school, she wanted...
a lot of intervention.
Yeah, in high school, I did have a dream that we tried that. And Teisha still kind of asked to do that sometimes.
I never asked.
So we had a dream, but we decided we didn't want to go that way. We're just friends. But she thought about it. She wants to touch these lips.
No.
So anyways, this weekend. So we're really close. So Teisha's recently lost weight. We're talking about G-flip.
The weight loss.
So
no, let's backtrack. I gained weight over the summer because we had 540th birthday trips. I was drinking. I don't really drink very much. There was a lot of drinking, a lot of eating, a lot of traveling.
Like sweet drinks, all the things.
Pina coladas. I'm not drinking those every day. So I gained weight. So then I lost weight.
Yes. So then she lost weight like a lot. And then she has been dressing. She's always been like a looker. Like the girl wore a tube top to our junior prom. Like back in the day, you know, we're 41. You weren't allowed to wear stuff like that to prom. She had some lady make it for her. She thought she was a designer, but Teisha's always put it out there. Like she's very pretty. You can't see her right now, but she's very pretty. And she is,
that's nice.
Yeah, you are. You're very pretty. You always like have a good look to you. So like recently as her best friend, I'm like, wait, what happened? Teisha turned into Hobo Joe.
Well, let's just preface this by saying the style today.
People know the style.
The style today is baggier clothes. That's like what the kids are wearing. If you go...
You're not a kid.
I know, but I think I am. I'm in denial about aging. What's the problem?
My daughter's a kid, and I think she has good style, and she doesn't look like a hobo.
No, but... I think I was already having bigger clothes when I was bigger.
We had the intervention too. We had an intervention.
She had a whole intervention with me. She sat
you know
me down.
The people that don't want. She recently just had her boobs out. She had her boobs out. I had boobs put in. It's kind of weird that we're just weird.
Yeah.
So she was so excited to get her boobs out because she, you know, when you have bigger boobs, which I know now.
You look bigger.
That's not what I was going to say. That's so rude. I just told you this the other day. We're at a lunch. I wasn't going to say that. But now you're saying I look bigger. You do look bigger. Thank you. You're just an idiot. So we're at lunch. We're in a book club. We're at lunch the other day. This is another story. And our other friend's getting a boob job, same doctor, and so we're talking about it. And Teisha goes on and on about how smaller boobs are more in style.
They are.
Okay.
Like in the 90s.
I know. You said you were going to do better.
Everyone was like Pamela Anderson. Now it's like Kendall Jenner.
But I said,
boobs.
You can't tell people that, one, just got a boob job, and two, that's getting a boob job tomorrow. You're kind of saying we're out of style. I get it that's the thing, but like know your audience.
Is not one of my spiritual gifts.
We'll be like with someone that's like, I just lost our house, and she's like, we're going to Cabo next week. I can't, and I'm like, you gotta read the room. It's not the time.
I don't think that things are offensive.
And they are.
And they are.
Yeah. So anyways, boobs make you look bigger. She told me that before I got them. She told me to get a lift. She's like, you want to look smaller because I got a tummy tuck too. She's like, don't get boobs. But you know what? I had saggy boobs my whole life.
You're happy with them.
Yeah, and I was like a bigger kid and I lost weight and I never had like cute boobs. They always just look not cute. And then after kids, one pointed one pointed the other. One was big, one was small. I just always wanted to have like a round boob, which I have. And I like it. But I do.
It looks great.
I do look bigger, like more football-like, but I'm fine with it. I feel like I'm being real. I feel sexier like in the bedroom. Like I just feel like I think
that's great. I do, since I've gotten mine out, I do feel like there is less of a womanly.
Yeah, it's
like I do feel a little bit more less sexual. I do think that boobs are more sexual.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, even like with Ben, I don't want him like touching my flat boobs now.
Yeah, and she used to have him rubber boobs like all the time. Teisha was excited to wear like low cut things because she's like, I always have to wear like a turtleneck, which is true. I find that now I have to buy more.
When you have your big boobs hanging out, it's like uncomfortable. Like, and from breastfeeding, no one knows this, no one talks about this. I feel like my nipples are always hard.
Yeah.
It's like, is it cold in every single room in 120
But
degrees
your nipples
in
are
Phoenix?
still hard.
Yeah.
See, mine weren't hard until I got boobs.
Mine are constantly hard from nursing. It's weird.
Yeah,
so when you have big,
yours?
hard boobs, big nipples hard constantly. Why are mine hard? Why is no one else's nipples hard?
And why are you yelling big, constant, hard nipples like it's dirty?
No, I'm just saying.
This is not that kind of podcast.
When they were big and they're always hard.
I know. Why aren't yours are hard 24/7?
24/7.
Yeah,
right
mine
now,
are not.
Literally,
right now, mine are not hard.
Oh, mine are always hard from nursing. Really?
Yeah, it's not from nursing. I nurse my kids. They're not hard.
Mine were hard from nursing.
Dana's aren't hard either. Okay, go on.
Now you're making me feel like a freak. For all you listeners out there who have hard nipples 24/7, you are not alone. Okay.
No,
I'm here for you.
What else is going on after you had kids?
No.
Wink,
and
wink.
so I felt like with big, hard nipples and big boobs 24/7, I just was always covering up. So I wanted to get mine out so I can not feel like a porn star all the time with my kids at the beach.
And then it's turned into,
So then, anyway, so this
into...
weekend, wait, let's get back to what prompted the intervention. So this weekend, I packed clothes. Very cute outfit, I thought. T-shirt, not like a unisex T-shirt.
It was a unisex.
No, it was a women's shirt from Abercrombie. And then I had jeans. The jeans are a little big now.
Kind of like the shirt you have on, 100% right now.
This is not a unisex shirt. If a guy wore this, it'd be like super.
I think guys wear those shirts all the time. They do, Dana.
No.
Yeah, they do.
I'm looking at Dana to back you up.
They do. They wear that like with jeans. Yeah, they do. It's long underwear. Isn't that what they're called? Long underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a long underwear white shirt, baggy. And then jeans that don't fit. Like, they're not supposed to fit loose in the crotch. That's like you're a boy. Yeah. So we had an intervention.
I showed up and she's like, we need to talk about your outfits these days.
Well, I've been calling her Hobo Joe because she's wearing the sweatpants and the sweatshirt, which is fine. I get that it's cute. And it was cute before she lost weight. But now she lost like 20 pounds. It's a lot. She's tiny. So she went from cute, baggy to, I think you need a cup in front of you and maybe someone will give you some money. Like, it's like she wears and then she wears the moccasins, which are in. The moccasin shoes.
Again, this is all stylish.
I know, but you've gone too far. Like, people still buy a small, and then they're a small, and then it's baggy. But you're wearing like an extra large pant. That's how it looks.
Yeah.
On a small figure, and it's too far. Or it's like, when your kids are hanging out with someone, and you're like, I don't want you hanging out with that group anymore.
Like I'm a bad influence.
Yeah, like you're like one of those like hoodlums.
Oh,
No.
It's
like, it's too baggy. So anyway, this wasn't a baggy outfit. This was like, she thought she was doing it, and I said, Teach.
Well, because I don't like those moms that look like they're trying to show it all off at a cheer competition. So I wanted to be like appropriate.
I don't think I look like that.
I mean,
maybe.
No, I'm just
no,
kidding. You don't. I wanted to like be appropriate for the situation.
Classy. You're into the classy.
Classy.
I'm so into the classy with you.
I love the class.
We've had stages maybe that you weren't into the classy.
My 20s, I was all out there, and I've since turned a new leaf.
Yeah.
So anyway,
she thought she was Carrie Bradshaw for a long period of time.
I was Carrie Bradshaw.
I was working at Santisi Brothers.
My email address was CEO
was it really?
For Carrie Bradshaw. I'm embarrassed. At hotmail.com. I'm embarrassed. It's fine.
I didn't know you really thought you were Carrie Bradshaw.
I did. Every girl thought they were Carrie Bradshaw. If you didn't think you were Carrie Bradshaw, it was like,
did you have a necklace that said Teisha?
No.
Oh, I'm dying. I can't believe you.
We would go out to bars and I would be like, my name's Carrie. Oh. I swear to God. No, and our friends, and then Megan was Rachel because from Friends.
Oh, I'm crying.
Yeah.
I knew you thought you were, but I didn't know you really identified us.
Like you didn't know it went as far as it went.
So
your email address.
Yeah.
Oh, what was your email?
CEO for Carrie. I can't say it. No, I can't say it. It was my name was Carrie.
You have to
my middle name was Elise, and then the last name was after a guy I liked. Like I took on his last name. I'm embarrassed.
That's the guy that we've talked about him. I think the other day. We got to talk about him.
Oh, it was the guy I chased to San Diego.
Yes, and with the when you sat on the cooler.
A restraining order if ever listens to this. Guys, this was 20 years ago. I'm happily married. So long.
It's part of it though. I can't believe you did that for CEO Carrie. What was the middle name for?
Elise.
Who's Elise?
I just liked it. And what's funny is our friend Danae has that middle name now.
Maybe it was meant to be. Okay, so anyways.
I show up to the cheer competition looking appropriate, and then Crystal's like, hey, we
said that already.
No, you need to tell how you had the intervention.
Okay, so we're sitting there.
So she goes, let me show you what you look like.
Let me tell it. Okay, so I'm like, she's like, the baggy's in. I'm like, I know, but you look like somebody that doesn't want to show off their body. And I'm fine with that. There's people, especially nowadays, that they're very girly and they would want to look more like a boy. And that's something that's very common right now. So sometimes what those girls will do, they'll duct tape their boobs down and they'll wear more square shirts, which is fine. I'm fine with it. But I was wondering if Teisha was bordering a transition. Are you wanting to change your womanly body to not, some people are very uncomfortable with it. And I'm being serious. They don't like a womanly body on them. So she
decides to show me some examples of what she's talking about.
And some of them are people that are gay, and I'm not against it, but I'm wondering now if there's something you need to tell me.
So she pulls out her phone and starts showing me pictures.
G-Flip is adorable. She's Chriselle's from
all the people she's
Chriselle
showing
from
me
Selling Sunset. I love Chriselle. She's adorable. And she's with G-Flip now. And I said, I think your style's kind of like G-Flip. So we started, she's like, who's G-Flip? And I'm like, let me show you.
And then she's like,
well, G-Flip wears more revealing clothes than Teisha.
Yeah,
this is the real problem. G-Flip dresses better.
More feminine than I do.
Yeah. So she saw that. She's like, you're right. She is more feminine. And one of the pants.
Casey from Big Brother, now The Challenge.
I love Casey.
Another female that dresses more
masculine. Yeah.
Which is fine, but that's not what I was going for.
But it's more square t-shirts. She doesn't wear as low cut. It's just a different look.
Boxy.
Yeah, boxy. And so, so G-Flip, so Teisha showed me her cart for Abercrombie. She goes, look, I'm getting tighter clothes. They weren't tighter clothes. The cargo pants are cute, but you got to wear like a tight shirt with it.
Yeah.
So G-Flip had on the pants.
Cargo pants are in.
G-Flip had the pants on. I'm like, see, these are the pants you were just about to buy.
But G-Flip had a tight shirt.
She had a tight shirt on. So I'm like, you need to wear a tight shirt with like baggy pants. Like Maddie wore like a tight shirt with her sweatpants to school. My daughter. Her and my daughter are similar. I'm similar to her daughter. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and you have this great body and you're hiding it. Like, are you embarrassed? Like,
do I not want to look feminine?
Yeah. Like, are you ashamed? Have you been touched? Like, really? Vibe. I was getting worried.
Yeah, no.
What was the real truth? You were used to showing it off for so long that now you kind of got lost in it.
Lost?
It was a body dysmorphia.
Maybe a little dysmorphia. Bit. Well, when I lost the weight, the clothes, I haven't bought new clothes. I hate spending money on a bunch of new clothes.
And I think you don't like tight. I really do.
Yeah, I just feel
her bathing suits are so stupid. She has the cutest body. Oh. And she wears this tube top bathing suit with the high-waisted, I'm like, you have the cutest body. So we did a bathing suit intervention.
Rude. Yeah, so we had a bathing suit intervention.
So I asked Teisha to curl my hair that day too, because I'm not into my hair right now.
Well, I was like, if we're going to talk about interventions, then let's talk about your hair.
You didn't say it like that. I was asking her. No, we're not mean to each other.
No.
And I wasn't being rude with the G-Flip.
No,
I love G-Flip. It was. I was like, you don't know.
They are wanting to dress like that. I was inadvertently
dressing giving that
like
vibe.
That. I wasn't wanting to cover up or look like I want to dress
boxy.
like a boy.
Like you don't like your hips.
No.
Yeah. You know, anyways. Yeah. So I'm like, so she did my hair and she's like, your hair looks a lot better today. Because she curled it and parted it down the middle, which I haven't done yet. Dana has the part too. So yeah, so I'm like,
well, we've been doing this for a few years now. Might be on its way out by now, but
so I haven't gone there yet. So I do my hair curly a lot of the time. I think it goes with my personality. So Teisha told me I did my hair curly too much. It's fine once in a while, but you shouldn't do it every day. It's kind of dated. Oops, I didn't know. And then I said, well, she said, well, your hair looks a lot better today. She kept complimenting it.
It looked really pretty.
Yeah, and she likes that to do that. If it's like about her, like something she did, she'll be like, doesn't that look so good, you know? So she's like, your hair looks really good today. It's like not a compliment about me. It's a compliment really about her.
I did say it like 5 times throughout the day.
Like, I did really good on your hair.
Good on your hair. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, why do you like it so much? She's like, well, it's because it's like trendy on today. I go, well, what do you mean? What were you saying? She's like, well, it was like more like, when would you date my hair? She's like, probably 2009. And I was like, what? Well, and I had this like stylist friend that helps me dress, and she came and did a closet clean out where we try on things, and she's like, why are you keeping this? Which you need to do.
I need to do that.
And she's like, your style kind of paused in 2009, and that's when I had kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. So my hair stayed in 2009, but my clothes now are a little better. Yeah. Because Sophia helps me.
No, the clothes are better now.
Yeah. So we had an intervention. She's G-Flip, and I need to get with the times. But as a mom, I do think you kind of pause in that 2000. Whenever you start having kids, you put yourself to the back burner. And so it's kind of, you haven't done that. Your face, you're like, I haven't done that.
I'm all real.
But you do, you know, even when you carry weight and stuff, it's harder to lose. It's harder to make working out a priority or eating healthy.
Doing anything is
sometimes you just eat whatever's left because you're tired by the time you do everything, like at dinner, you know, it's hard.
Well, and I think taking the time to stay up with the trends, like that's not as important when you're a mom.
Yeah.
It's like when you're single or you're like...
You're putting it out there.
No.
Yeah.
You're constantly like...
You're into your vibe of your look. That's why it's so surprising you're going with the hobo.
I didn't know.
I know. So now we're doing better. So she's tying up her shirts a little and... Oh,
now I can't even get dressed. Everything in my closet, I'm like, shit.
I know. So clean it out. I stutter. It's a thing.
Today,
One time I made fun of someone for stuttering. Not made fun of, I just said sometimes they stutter. And Kyle told me that was rude to say that, my husband. And now
you're making fun of stuttering people?
I didn't make, no. Oh my gosh. No, I said that person stutters sometimes. And he goes, that's rude. Don't make fun. I said, I didn't make fun. They just do. And he said, that's so rude. You shouldn't make fun of someone for that. Since then, stutter all the time.
No,
I tell my kids that all the time.
No, one time I said someone's kid was small and now Fox is so short. It's so weird.
No, you're right. I made fun of Jen Europa. She's our friend. She's probably listening. Hey, Jen. I did make fun, but in my head, we were running for a half marathon.
This was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. I used to run half marathons, and Jen was training. She was my roommate. She was training with me. And we were running 10 miles. We ran to the mall, and we were running back, and she said her knee hurt. And I was like training, so I was kind of annoyed we had to stop. I was like, this is stupid. So we had to go to Walgreens and call my parents for a ride home because we like ran somewhere. And in my head, I'm like, this is dumb. She should have just pushed through it. The next run, we go the next Saturday on a run. the same exact spot my knee started hurting. I kid you not. And I was like, I shouldn't have made fun of Jen. I didn't know how bad it was, you know? And Jen's like, I know it was bad. And I was thinking, I didn't give you enough credit. And then we did the half marathon that Sunday, the next Sunday, and I've never run again since. My knee's been so bad. And I was like, I shouldn't have thought Jen was stupid in my head. No, I swear, I tell my kids that all the time. It goes around, does come around.
Yeah, never.
Did you ever make fun of a hobo?
That's so rude. I mean, I feel like people like, it's so rude. People like how I dress. People.
Who are these people? They might have liked, this is past tense. In the last month, I don't think anyone's like, Teisha's killing it. I know they're not, because so many people have said they're worried about you to me.
She always says.
They're always like, is Teisha okay? She's lost a lot of weight. I'm like, it's because her clothes are too big.
And like, she does this thing where she embellishes. One person might ask something, and then she's like, everybody, like when I wasn't wearing a bra, she's like, everyone's asking why you don't wear a bra anymore. And it was like one person.
It might have been two, but I didn't want to tell you the other person, because you get mad.
Who is it?
I'm not telling.
Oh, you were telling me.
So I didn't embellish. I just didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to get anyone in trouble. 2 or 3.
I don't want to wear a bra.
I know, but you're a mom.
I know.
Just like you think it's weird when moms put it out there too much. When you're wearing a tight tank top with your nipples always hard, like you said, it's awkward. We're like, you're at dinner and you're like, is that her nipples? Like,
we had an intervention about the bra.
It's different if you go on a date with your husband and you want to have your nipples out.
Yeah.
I think around like kids and stuff, it's different.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the vibe you were going for.
I think we were on a trip, adults only, when I had the nipples out.
No, I think I've seen your nipples out with my kids around. Because I think Maddie's like, does Teisha not wear a bra? Like, I've had a few people.
Was she the other person that asked?
No, they were adults. I know, but I like your best friend. I don't want you looking like you're trying too hard. Like, it's like a different look.
Yeah,
like you're wanting other guys' husbands looking at you. I think that's a weird.
It's like you're sending mixed messages. You want me to try too hard with the clothes and have it all hanging out.
I don't want you to dress like a whore. Don't be a hobo. Don't be a whore.
But then you were telling me to dress like a whore this weekend. I can't.
A whore is not wearing a tight tank top.
I can't be a hobo. I can't be a whore. What am I supposed to dress like?
No, it's not. A tight tank top is not a whore, especially if you don't have boobs.
With a bra.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't even care if you have a bra and your nipple pokes out, I think that's more appropriate. Like, it's not your fault.
Like, I tried to cover it.
Yeah. But if you don't have a bra and you can tell, it's like, and it's a tight, it's like in a bathing suit, if your nipples pop out, it's like, I have a bathing suit on.
Yeah.
But I now have to put those pads in the bathing suit because with big boobs and your nipples out, it's a different statement.
I like the nipples out. Or not the nipples out. I like the no bra though, because it's so comfortable.
I understand, but maybe let's do that at home.
Yeah.
You know? Or like on a date.
I'm not going on a date. Oh, with my husband.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. So, I mean, to our listeners, let us know if you think it's okay to not wear a bra at 41.
I am curious to know.
Yeah, I am. I really am too. Maybe I'm off.
Yeah.
So my mom didn't wear a bra. My mom got a breast reduction.
Yeah, so I feel like it's PTSD.
It might be. Well, and it was embarrassing. I don't want Kennedy. She's like my niece. I don't want her to feel how I felt.
Yeah.
Like like I was embarrassed. The kids were like, "We saw your mom last night and she wasn't wearing a bra. It was a lot." Like they said it to me all the time. They'd be like, "Your mom." It was kind of like, "Mom,
yeah,
you have dad. Why are you putting that vibe out?"
Yeah.
But she would always say it's just so comfortable.
It is.
And she still doesn't. She wears this like band.
Yeah.
That she tries now.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed now because it's like, it's a band.
She's trying, yeah.
Yeah, like your bras are great.
It's
Teisha
fine.
went through a stage where she was, after the boobs, was wearing like tube tops. Again, it's like the Casey G-flip. Like, you know what I mean? Like when people wear a sports bra 24,
Yeah, she is like, you need to wear a padded bra because it's no boobs. Again.
Not padded, like cute. Like a V. Like a style bra. Structured.
Yeah, so I bought this. This is a Target bra, but it has
cute. I
boob.
was just gonna say that looks adorable.
When I get dressed now, it's like what would Jesus do, but it's what would Crystal do in my closet.
And Jesus. I don't think Jesus. Well, they didn't wear bras back then.
Jesus doesn't care about my boobs.
He cares about you not dressing like a whore.
For sure.
You know. Maybe he doesn't.
But yeah,
he loves you how you are.
Yeah.
You know. Maybe who knows? That's actually we don't know if he said wear a bra.
Yeah.
I think as women in the way I'm dressed today is exactly what I'm going to say is wrong. And we listen to Dr. Laura Schlesinger. Teisha doesn't listen, but she does agree with her.
I do listen to Dr. Laura. I love her.
And she always talks about how when we get married, we want our husbands to treat us like how we were dating,
right? How
they treated us, but then we don't act how we acted when we were dating. Like we don't flirt with them. You actually, I feel like you flirt with Ben.
Yeah, I do.
When you do like...
Just say it.
Okay, she does this thing. Teisha and I lived together, a whole family, so it was like the Brady Bunch. So I get to see all these quirks that happen not in front of the average person. And that would have been normal if at night you didn't have a bra on.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been normal. Yeah. But you wouldn't even do that. You felt uncomfortable, but you had boobs then. Teisha has this thing where when she asks Ben for something, going back, they call each other bunny, and then they are bunny in a burrow with their kids.
So, wait, how it started was...
I wish someone could see Dana.
I know.
This is real. Still, for 10... How long you been married? 13 years?
13 years.
Yeah.
So how
bunny in a burrow. We're going to add to our burrow and have another bunny.
No, how it started was honey bunny. Like calling someone honey bunny.
You act like it's still fine.
No, honey bunny is normal. So I'd be like... Fiction. It's normal. I'd be like, hey, honey bunny. Well, then it got shortened to just bunny. Because you know how things shorten over time. And...
Where'd the burrow come?
And then I think... Ben actually made up the burrow. He'd be like, my bunny, and then come to the burrow. The burrow was like our bed or our house. And
she's saying it like it's normal. And it's not. By the way, Dana, that's how I feel, Dana.
So he'd be like if he went on like a work trip or something, he'd be like, I can't wait to get back to the burrow. And like, we would just call it bunny in the burrow. I don't know. Anyways, so then we started adding an IES to things. Like
Calmies.
Oh yeah, I used to drink magnesium at night, and it was called Calm. And so what I found was when you add an IES to something, it sounds sweeter, like nice. And Ben is just a really sweet husband, so he does things for me. So I would want my Calm drink at night. And so instead of being like, hey, jerk, get me my Calm drink, I'd be like, honey, Calmies? And it's like a nice way to ask for what I want.
So I'm living with her, and I'm sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden, commies for sweet. You say commies for mommies or something?
Yeah.
Mommies.
I just say it like sweet and cute, and
I feel uncomfortable sometimes. Should I leave? And it's like commies for mom, and then Ben doesn't do that in front of people,
but he does it.
I know.
Then so we would call doing it Deweys. When we're gonna do it,
and then I say commies.
He'd be like Deweys tonight, and I'd be like sure.
Yeah.
You know.
What else is IES? There's a lot of things that I make fun of.
What were we just
commies?
Oh.
And Cokies is coconut oil?
Coconut oil. We use coconut oil. And I'd be like, you need the Cokies. Like, I need it. It's not happening without the Cokies. And so it's just a nice, in the morning, I'll be like, coffees or heaties. He gets my heating pad for me. I'll be like,
hear all this out loud. I'm so glad our listeners can hear the things that he does for you.
He is the best husband.
Yeah. Sometimes she'll be like, you don't have my coffee out here by the time I got out of bed. When you hear me wrestling around in there, this is real. This is real. Yes, it is, and you know it by the way you're laughing. When you hear me wrestling around out there, you know to have my coffee ready.
That's psycho.
I know. It's the truth. And he's just great about it. I love Ben.
So sweet.
I'm Ben. That was another thing this weekend. I think I'm all the husbands. And Teisha, you were right.
Every time someone's talking about their husband, and the husband's right
Not
there.
everyone are good friends.
Crystal tries to like make the husband feel like, I'm like you, man, like two of a kind. So she'll be like, I'm just like Brad. And then 5 minutes later, I'm just like Ryan.
I am like Ryan.
And then she tells me, I'm just like Ben.
I am just like Ben, for sure. Because you're just like Kyle, and I'm just like Ben.
But I'm saying, you can't be like all these people. They're not all the same.
I know, but there's things. I'm like the guy in the relationship.
I'm like the guy with Ben, though.
Yes,
so
and that's
you're the girl.
Okay. Well, you're like Kyle a lot.
Yeah.
But I take care of Kyle like Ben takes care of you.
Yes.
So then is Ben the girl?
Kind of. I am he cries way more than me. He wants to talk about his feelings.
And now you dress like G-Flip. So let's talk. I love G-Flip, by the way. I think she's adorable.
Yeah, no,
but
that's what
it is more of like a masculine
I'm
vibe.
not trying to go for that look.
Maybe you are.
So
okay, we were telling another story. So Dr. Laura believes that you should date your husband, and like don't be in sweatpants every day when he gets home, and like still like try to be cute.
Yeah.
And flirt with him, and be his girlfriend, and like rub his back. Like it's so true. It sounds so dumb, but when I listen to her, I am nicer to Kyle. Yeah. I like act like his girlfriend, and then he is great to me. Then he'll treat me like when we're dating. And so as women, we always think that like it's why doesn't he do this and why doesn't he do that? Me, my personality is more like, if you want, this is a blessing and a curse. I blame myself for everything, good and bad. But sometimes that's why I've had to go to counseling, is because I can't decipher what's my fault and what's not. I just blame myself for everything. But it's a blessing because I don't let like someone's circumstance, I don't like sit there like I have no control.
Like you're not a victim.
Yes, like I can fix this, and if my husband isn't treating me good, this is something that happened before we went to counseling, was I just thought it was all my fault the way he was treating me, but I did need to stand up to him a little more. That was true. And that was something I needed to do because I just thought I'd submit, and he'll be happy. But he wasn't even that happy because I was acting like a schmuck.
Yeah, and I think submit is like
dominatrix.
Or like
that's not what
says like at church or like in the Bible, wives submit to your husbands, but it's not in a treat me like crap kind of way. It's a mutual submission where you're putting the other's needs first. And I think that I love that about Dr.
But
Laura.
anyways,
it gives you the power to change.
As women, I do think we should dress it up sometimes. And I think when you stay home, we act like we stay home, but we work. Just like the 12 people I have to call as soon as we're done with this. But I do think sometimes you get lazy. Like you take care of the kids, you put the kids first, and then you put yourself on the back burner, but your husband still wants his girlfriend. Guys, and they also want their mommy.
It's and guys are very visual, so I think it matters how you look.
So to our listeners, try to put tight pants on once in a while and say cummies and cummies. You get cummies, you give cummies.
Add the IES, it's great.
I'm not adding the IES confidently, but you could. And keep going. And Ben, when he calls, it's Bunny in the burrow. And then they sing these songs.
No.
Yes. Mommy has a daddy, or what was the song? What was the song? What was the song? Daddy in the burrow. Like, there was a song.
I can't even get it out. He's my bunny and he's my daddy. I can't even get it out.
Daddy, Bunny. He's my daddy and he's my bunny. They sing this on their walk.
No, he's my bunny and he's my daddy. But I don't remember how it goes now. It's been a while.
I don't know. All of a sudden I got word of it and I'm like, wait, what? She calls him daddy too. I call Kyle daddy too.
He likes it.
Yeah, Kyle does too. I'll be like, daddy, I do that.
If you baby talk them, they like it. They like to feel.
They do. Men do want to feel like you're their mommy. It's weird.
Or like he's your daddy and like, oh honey, like he likes. I find.
Let's talk real. Are you guys into dominatrix?
No, but
because I'm getting worried.
I'm kind of a demanding wife. Like I'm not.
Kind of.
I'm not a pushover at all, and so
kind of.
I find that. Sometimes I can come across harsh. So
and he's really big on the tone, as am I.
Right. You're just so much alike.
We are. Now, tell our listeners, you do say that all the time. I am like Ben.
I do. But I find that if I add the IES or I baby talk a little bit, it's like I appear to be a little bit more soft and sweet. Because men do like a soft woman. Yeah. And I'm not really a soft woman. I'm like...
harsh.
Yeah.
And boxy.
And bossy, yeah.
Boxy with your shirts.
And bossy and boxy, both.
No, you're doing great. Yeah, so she does the IES.
Yeah.
And they
lovies, huggies, mommies, daddies, all of it. It's fine.
So sing the song again.
He's my bunny, and how did it go? I can't remember.
Bunny. He's my bunny, and he's my daddy. Daddy? And the fact that I know it is concerning.
It's so concerning on so many levels.
I think the kids, so then she calls her daughter, Kenny Grace. She does this like weird talk, and my mommy's girl. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I think baby talk is something that should be like private. It's more like a private thing. And so we're at dinner with our girls at cheer, and she's like, come on, you mommy's girl. And Ken's like in 5th grade. It's not like she's 2.
6th grade.
6th grade. It was 5th grade when we went.
Yeah.
But like to your 2-year-old, I can see like, come on, Foxy.
Yeah.
You a good boy. Like that's normal. But like a 5th grade girl is not Kitty's group. You mommy's girl. Like we're at dinner, and I'm like, what? Wait, what'd you say? She's like, she's mommy's girl, huh? You like mommy's time. I swear, all this is happening. If you can hear my Teisha. And Maddie and I, we're more like a tough love kind of family. I'm not calling Maddie.
I'm tough love. I just had like a little baby talk.
A lot of baby talk. You should hear it with the dog. I'm like, can you hang up the phone? You're the best boy. You're the best boy, mommy boy. And I'm fine with that, but maybe hang up.
I don't think you're fine with it.
I don't really love hearing it. So anyways, Kenny Grace and Mommy's Face. Mommy's Face?
I'm a baby talker. It's fine.
I know. It's an intervention.
For all those listeners out there that are baby talkers.
So then there was a period of time where she was into Stabler.
Oh. We did a little role play.
From SVU?
I used to have a crush on Stabler. Lieutenant Stabler. Yeah, he was cute.
He was cute. Yeah. And I like that. Like,
and
he's the protector.
Manly.
Yeah, I'm so into it.
He was getting the bad guys.
Yeah, so her and Ben would play Stabler in the bedroom.
Yeah, like a little role play. Not like super. We're not kinky at all, by the way.
Yeah, I thought this wasn't going to go E.
Oh, okay.
It's
we'll
E.
keep
No,
it PG.
she's not kinky. She's a big missionary girl.
Some of us here are, but not me.
I wouldn't say kinky. I would say adventurous.
You're adventurous. I'm not adventurous.
I'm not doing weird things. There's no parts or participation or
but
outside
we
influences. And if you're into that, for disclosure, that's not our business. But it's only Kyle and me and our bodies.
Yeah. No toys or anything weird.
No.
Yeah.
I just don't always do missionary.
And I tend to lean towards that. It's comfortable. My knees hurt. I'm getting older. My knees hurt. I'm serious. They do. They'll lock up. I mean, it'll full lock up. And then I can't get off. So it's like, I can't do it.
Which way?
Yeah.
Can't get off.
Yeah. Literally and literally. No.
Figuratively.
It's like that.
Gosh.
I can't. So my knees lock up. So, I mean, we're limited to but missionary, I love it. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, it works. It's getting the job done.
Oh, it's getting it done, for sure.
Yeah. For both of you.
No. Oh, yeah.
We're big into that, too. Like,
what?
Having relations with your husband, it's a priority.
Oh, yeah.
Even when you don't want to. Not like you're being
they're going to cheat.
done against your will. But, like,
cheat on you,
it is important. Our pastor did I wish they would do it again. Don Wilson, he is our pastor. I know. But he did a whole series on sex. And it was so good. Like, it was out of this body. It talked in the guy's perspective and the girl's perspective with the Bible backing it. I think for me, I was raised very religious. And we were told to wait till we were married to do that. And I really wanted to. And so for me, sex was almost like forbidden. Like, it was like not allowed. It wasn't like of the Bible because we weren't supposed to do it for so long. And I did have boyfriends. And when things would get started, in my head, it was like, this isn't okay. And I do think because our friends, we all talk about this stuff. I do think when you've had a background that wasn't with a loving man, I do think that it can affect your marriage. Because sometimes you think
if
that
you sleep with people that aren't loving prior to marriage, so
yes, I think sometimes then if you're doing a different position and you've done that in the past with somebody else, you feel like it's not loving or it's not, I don't know. I think there's this stigma. Some of my friends, like, they aren't having as much sex as they did when they were single. And I think because they have these like things.
Baggage.
Yes. And I have to like push through. That's what that whole service was about.
Well, and the shame too.
The shame.
Right. It like brings you back to that place.
Yeah. And if you haven't had a lot of loving relationships, that's why it's so important that you don't have a lot of the, like if I were to do one thing, our kids can't listen to this podcast at this point.
100% not.
But if I were to do something different, it would have been to wait for my husband. Not because the bond with that is so pure, and like our good friend is married to only her husband, and they do it all the time. But it's never like she never has that.
She has no like weird things about sex, and it's always been with her husband
in a loving way.
Yeah.
And I do think women today, if you've been like we've used our bodies in the wrong way, that's just the truth. Like we let someone maybe. We've hooked up with someone that wasn't someone that really cared about us, didn't call us the next day, didn't respect us. I think we've created this like shame. But our church talked about for a man, that's how they feel loved, respected, adored. Like you would think it's like, this sounds dirty, but at this point we might put an E, but it's not about getting off for them. It's about feeling like loved. And I think as women, we like unintentionally punish them with like taking it away when they're not being great to us or this or that. But the truth is, when they're not being great to us, if you do that, they're so much nicer.
Yeah.
And it creates this divide in marriage because you're, feeling like he's taking advantage of you and not treating you right, and he's feeling unadored and unrespected. And then all of a sudden you're turning into a sexless marriage, which turns into a loveless marriage, which turns into a problem. Men have to release. That's what they're created to do.
Right.
Women enjoy it too. Don't get me wrong.
It's not the same though.
But it's not the same. Like we talked about the other day, maybe we could not have sex for a long time and it'd be fine. But for a man, that's like a failure to them. So I just think it's important. Our pastor said you have to commit to at least once a week. At least.
And if he's being grouchy, I'll be like, okay, come here, honey, you need a little, and then he's like, it totally turns into it's crazy.
But it's not what's innate. Innate is like, I don't want to be near you. You're annoying. You're a jerk right now. I don't want to be near you. And you have to do the opposite.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard because when they are being grouchy, it's like, I'm not turned on. You're grossing me out. Yeah.
Yes. But then you have like a back rub and then I'm in. I'm Svetlana.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just be like, okay, I don't feel like it, but let's do it. And then.
Remember when you were watching the show?
What show?
TV. And Ben's like, that's so rude.
Oh, yeah. One time,
And why do I know this story?
I know, I love Seinfeld. And like, I'm just going to put it out there. It's so good. It might be better than some things. No.
Yeah.
And so we always watch a show before bed. So we were laying in bed, and then
Tell her it's Chinese, and I'm not even lying. It's Chinese. I swear to you, it's Chinese.
And so
Chinese to 90s?
It might have been. I mean, I'm not gonna at this point. I'm just gonna embrace it. And so we were gonna do it because I think I was like, okay, we can do it tonight. But I wasn't in the mood. And then so I was like, sideys.
Sideys means doing it on the side.
Where I lay on my side and he's behind me. And so we call it sideys because again, I like to sweeten it up a little bit. Like it's like, oh, a treat for you, but really it's not. So I'm like, sideys. So then we're watching Seinfeld. This podcast is so inappropriate. I
for sure.
Even let people listen to this.
Yeah.
And so Seinfeld was on, and we had not turned it off. And so as we're doing it, I'm like, moving my head so I can get a view. I love Seinfeld. It's so funny.
Ben wasn't thrilled. It's not really.
Show. No, he didn't love it. It didn't make him feel like the man that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Dr. Laura would be so mad at me right now. She'd be like,
but we're all a work in progress. I do think it's so important. I might even listen to her in between podcasts to remember, because when I start listening to her, it changes my whole demeanor. And you think it's them. When you change, they're like animals.
Well, I think as women, we
respond.
have so much power in the marriage and in the family and in the relationship. There's such a power with being a woman and a wife and a mom, and you have the ability to set the whole tone for your husband, for his day, for your kids. It's such a powerful position, and I think it's important to
we use it the wrong way. Yeah. We need to lean into that the right way and be a girlfriend. That's it's something I think we could just work on this week. Yeah. I'm going to work on being a girlfriend. And I'm going to try to dress better.
Crystal likes to make goals for things.
I do.
You can't
That's my goal this week.
So
Teisha doesn't.
I don't want the goal. Because then if I don't do the goal, then I'm like, oh, loser.
You do try to improve. It's just not as boldly.
I improve without saying my goal. Because then if I don't meet
I like to say a goal.
Yeah.
I'm going to be more of a girlfriend this week and dress better.
I'm not going to say that I'm going to do that. But I probably will.
Great. So summing it up with talking about sex. What we're talking about, though, is in marriage, not being single.
No.
Marriage is a covenant, and I'm not a pastor whatsoever. But where I think we're going wrong with society is we're trying to be this sexual kitten to a man that hasn't earned it.
Right.
Because he hasn't proposed. Men these days, they don't have to propose. They get you to live with them. They get you to cook for them. They get you to clean for them. They get you to have sex with them. And
why would they marry you?
Why would they marry you? They're such simple beasts. Both of us did that with our husbands. Yeah. And we both did it with other guys. We both were the fake wife with other guys, and they didn't propose, and they didn't treat us good. And with Kyle, I dated guys that I lived with this guy. He wasn't the nicest to me.
Yeah.
It was his own issue. He went through a lot, but with Kyle, I was like, I don't want to sleep over and do all that and act like we're married with no commitment, because then you break up and it's awful, and you have to rebuild your life. And I was 25, 26. My friends I was working a full-time job. I was teaching. I was coaching. It was like when something like that hit, it really knocked me off my game. When we broke up and I was with him all the time, it was and your friends are more in serious relationships and moved on, you feel so alone. But if you go from being alone and being confident alone to just staying alone, it's not as hard of a jump. So with Kyle, I decided I don't want to get all in. If he's not the one for me, I want to keep my independence so that I can jump right back. And it's not because sometimes I think you miss having someone instead of having the one. Missing someone is just missing someone that texts you. Nowadays, I think that's the kids. The text, the check-in, the this. Missing someone to go to dinner with. Even though he might have cussed at me at the dinner, I still enjoyed having a buddy. And so you miss the buddy more than you miss this prize of the man that takes care of you, makes you feel secure, makes you feel protected. Going on to this story, I remember once with my ex, we were out late and I went to get gas. It was 10:30 at night, and we were both going to my house. And he was like, I'll just meet you at home. I'm like, well, I'm going to get gas. He's like, okay, so I'll just meet you at your house. And I thought it was so rude because my dad has always treated me like a princess. And my dad would always follow me to the gas station. He's always gotten my mom's gas. Mm-hmm. He's always treated her like a protector. And I remember we got in a fight and I was like, you're not coming with me to the gas station? And he's like, no, what do you...
Really?
I'm sorry.
Struggling.
Take a second.
Okay, thanks.
And then we'll...
Okay. You can cut it. Yeah. He was like, why are you so codependent that you can't go get gas by yourself? And that's not a word I wanted to ever be called. But we had this whole fight about it. And what I learned is the right guy will just want to follow me to the gas station because that's who he is. You can't make someone be the one that's the one meant for you. Right.
Because if you're holding out for those things, then you won't compromise.
And shortly after Kyle and I were dating, it was 8:30, and I was like, hey, we're going to meet somewhere, and I'm like, I'm going to get gas on the way. And he's like, I'll follow you. And he did it all on his own, and I was like, yeah, see? And I didn't have to change him. It's not fair to date a guy that you have to change because you're just not in line. Like, Kyle just did everything I've always wanted. Like, girls, if I were to say, make a checklist and don't compromise that checklist, because the checklist might look different. Like, Kyle wasn't I always did like short, muscular, dark guys. Like that was more he's 6'4" and like blondish, reddish, like not even what I would have thought. That part didn't matter because I was so attracted to who he was as a man. Like he was so confident and like just a good man that all those things, like every little thing that I've always wanted just lined up with him. And everything that he always wanted lined up with me, but we didn't have to change that. Like I'm a project girl. I always was like, I'm going to love him. He's going to change. He's scared. Yeah. And like with the right guy, it just lines up. So with dating, you women think they can lead with sex. Like, okay, I'll have sex with them, then we feel connected because we crave that connection. So when you're dating, don't have sex. Really. I really, if I were to ever, with Kyle, I didn't, and you had not either, and then, well, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But so I was like, no, I'm not going to spend the night. And he's like, why can't you spend the night? We were going out. We had some drinks. He's like, this is dumb. So if we did go out and have drinks, I'd make him sleep on the floor. He wasn't allowed to sleep in the bed with me. And dating, then he thought that was like psycho. He's like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, you don't get to sleep in the bed with me until you earn it. And all these things I set up were, no, you're going to come pick me up. I'm not going to meet you somewhere. Girls are so dumb. They drive places. I did it. I paid for his gas. Like, you're a loser. There's no respect there. Make the guy work because men are created to hunt, to gather, to challenge. They want challenge. Even in marriage, I still think it's good to not be so submissive and keep an edge. But like, don't settle on your own because you're just trying to win the guy over. And don't have sex because sex to a man, it's a connection for a woman, but when they're dating, that's just a need that's being met for them. When it's their wife, it's a different thing. You're meeting their need, and only one person in the world can meet Kyle's need right now. It's only me. But we've made a commitment to each other. But girls, like, they'll go on a date nowadays. Dr. Laura calls it free prostitution. Because you'll meet a guy on the internet, you'll go to dinner with him, he'll meet you there, you'll meet him there, he won't even pay for dinner, and you'll go sleep with him.
Yeah.
It's like, people used to have to pay for prostitution because they couldn't have sex with someone that wasn't their wife. They'd have to commit to have sex. That's why, like, back in Outlander, there was like prostitutes because girls wouldn't give it up that easily. So they would go hire a prostitute because they didn't want to be in a committed relationship, or they couldn't find someone to commit because girls wouldn't give it up. Nowadays, girls are like, sure, I'll give it up, acting like you're getting something in return. For girls, yeah, it feels good for the moment, but it's way more emotional.
No, I think any girl that's acting like they're fine with casual sex, I think
it's like
if they are, I think there might be something off. Like I think they're lying to themselves.
Oh my God. That was my mother-in-law.
Oh
we were on the phone with my mother-in-law and we were just talking about
She's
sex.
all Crystal.
Oh my God.
Free prostitution. I'm dead.
Do you need a call?
No, she'll be fine.
Oh, she's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
She'd agree with all this. She's sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but society today, it's like, it's cool to be like a slut. It's like you're embracing your womanhood, and it's like about you, get off, and but like in reality, I don't think girls are feeling good about themselves doing that.
No, and I tell my single friends, I said, you guys, it's a hole. It's not like a magical hole. What makes that hole feel good is like respect behind it. Like with Kyle, we waited to kiss, we waited to do all those things, and when we did even kiss, it was like whoosh, like the emotion.
Right.
That's what made him a good kisser. It's not what he does with his tongue.
Right.
It's not like it feels good. It's who's behind that kiss that makes it feel good, and we're losing that in society.
Right.
We're
when
losing
you're doing it with everybody.
Yeah, and then you don't have that connection or that. You know, like, it's like you almost build a wall up where you can't connect anymore because you didn't start having kisses and all those things with someone. Interesting. Oh my God, my mother-in-law. I just texted her recording a podcast, call you after. You guys don't know, but we just answered on accident on my watch, and she was listening to us just talk about all the sex with my mother-in-law and Kyle. And so she was listening, and I said, recording a podcast, and she wrote back, interesting.
So funny.
My mother-in-law was raised Mormon, so she's never had a drink in her life, and she's very conservative. So that was probably very interesting. That's like the perfect word.
That's literally what is interesting.
Yeah. That's so mortifying. I could die.
So
My phone's been calling all kinds of people lately.
Oh, God.
Anyways, so I tell my single friends, don't let him have it, because the only thing that's going to make you stand out different is that you won't give it up, and that's going to be intriguing, and that's going to make him hunt and gather.
And it's going to give you the confidence to walk away when it's not the right guy.
100%.
When you've slept with a guy and you've invested all this, you're cooking him dinner, you're playing house, you've given him everything, it's like you can't even fathom a breakup because you've lost yourself so much. That should be something reserved for a man that's earned it.
And girls are into their number, and you're like, I don't want another number. So just keep going.
No, it's whack.
With this one, because I want to add to the number.
No.
But it's better to be alone.
You can easily walk away when you see those signs, when he doesn't follow you to the gas station. If you're not sleeping with him, you're not playing housewife.
It's easy to walk.
You're like, okay, I'm done.
Because you didn't give that part of yourself.
You're already this far in. Then you make excuses. Oh, he's just tired. It's just.
And when you get married, it gets way worse.
Oh, when people are fighting dating, I'm like, this is the biggest red flag.
Yeah.
Like, run for the hills.
My mom always told me that, and I didn't believe her, because my mom and dad are really cute, and they've been married 40
It's not even hard.
years.
There's no kids. There's no money. It's like, what's
My mom says,
about?
without money and kids, you should have nothing to fight about. And when I was dating, I was like, you don't understand. He's scared. He had, And then with Kyle, we didn't fight. I remember you might not remember this, but Kyle and I got engaged after 5 months, and that was very unheard of. But we weren't doing the things. Like, I wasn't spending the night. I remember I had spent the night a few times because we were going out. And then I did let him in the bed. Oh my gosh, I wonder how long my mother-in-law was listening. But Bonnie came over one time and found me in the bed, and she would deliver them groceries and stuff. And when I was in the bed, she was pissed at him, because she's very conservative too, and was like, you guys are not allowed to have a girl spend the night. Like, and that's not normal, that we both had very conservative upbringings. But I remember my brother called once, and I answered, and he's like, where are you? I'm at Kyle's house. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you at his house? You're being an idiot. You're making him not work, giving the cow before it's, and I didn't do anything like that with him. I was just spent the night because we got home late. And my brother's like, stop. You're being so stupid. I'm so disappointed. And I remember I told Kyle, I can't spend the night anymore. And I worked and I coached. So I was at the school like 12 hours a day, and he lived about 30 minutes away. So when I got done at 7, if I didn't go there and spend the night, it wasn't worth driving there. Like, then I'd have to drive home late, and Kyle didn't like me driving home late, which was sweet. So we didn't see each other then during the week, and it was so hard. I remember I was like, Kyle, this is so weird. And I remember he told me once, it's gonna be okay, just trust, everything's gonna be okay. And he proposed to me like 3 days later. 2 weeks, I stopped spending the night, and he proposed. Because again, if you make him hunt and gather, I'm not saying just try that with any guy and it's gonna work. I knew he was the one right away. Like, the gas station, everything he did, it was like, I can't even tell people. It was so clear from like so early on that he was the one. I think with Ben too, I feel like it was very clear. And then we didn't do those things. So sure enough, I didn't spend the night for 2 weeks, and we proposed after 5 months. But Teisha was my best friend, and I remember she told me, you're still in the honeymoon phase. But she was dating an idiot. Yeah. So it was easy to justify like that this was so good.
I broke up with my boyfriend the night you got engaged. I was
did?
Screw this. Yeah.
Because you were with him 2 years.
Yeah. And I was like, oh,
you
no.
did not.
Yeah, because
I don't remember that.
I didn't think I was going to propose. I thought it was just the honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah. It was just so clear to me what was going on in our relationship was not good.
That happened with my brother when he met Allie, his wife, and I saw what a real relationship was. I was like, I broke up with my boyfriend then because I was like, it's not that. But Teisha was kind of mad at me. A bunch of my friends were. They're like, why are you getting married so fast? Are you pregnant? Because we were married within a year of meeting. As was Teisha, actually.
Yeah.
We were engaged after 5 months, and then we were married within another 5. And we had our first daughter within a year of being married.
Yeah.
But when you just know. And it wasn't just that it was the honeymoon stage. It just was easy with the right one.
Right.
And I think that then you met Ben, and then I think even our other friends have kind of, Jen and Scott, I feel like that helped because we were in healthy relationships.
Right.
When you see the right one, it's just different. And I think for your friends, like I know of my friends who married the right one and who married someone.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a lot harder.
It doesn't mean that there's no problems or you're not going to go through things or you don't need counseling, because we've gone to counseling and he's totally the one.
Yeah, so have I.
It's
and he's
just
totally the
different. The battles are different. Because with any two people with different upbringings, different experiences, different ways of dealing with stuff, you're going to have conflict.
I think your baggage too. I honestly think your baggage from your previous relationships. Kyle didn't have a lot of girlfriends.
Yeah, because I feel like I have friends that didn't have any serious one before, didn't sleep with anyone before, and there's a lot less baggage.
Yes, and a lot less, like, because a lot of my issues are not from Kyle. They're for the jerk-offs that hurt me.
trust issues.
Yeah. And, like, he'll do something, it'll trigger what happened to me in the past, and I'm like, I am not putting up with this again. He didn't do that to me.
Right.
That was that jerk-off. But you have, like, so that's why I don't want my daughter to date. I want my daughters to, and my son, I want them to try to not date seriously unless it's someone that's really worth it. Like, really worth it. But it's hard to know that at a young age. Like, you just don't know. The Duggars, I used to think the Duggars were it. Like, but they didn't kiss till they were married. And then it went south. And I was like, okay, so maybe that's not. My mom always says, give them enough rope to hang themselves. I love that. Like, let them make enough choices where they feel like they have freedom, but yet not too much freedom where they crave that rebellion.
Right.
As a parent, that's very hard to decipher for me. Now that my daughter's 13, my oldest, we're going through all these new stages, and I don't want to be too restrictive, but I don't want to give too much freedom. It's very, very hard.
Yeah.
But if you're dating, don't sleep around. Make him work for it. You'll be impressed. Don't even spend the night. Like, make it where you're the prize to catch, because that's what guys really want. They want the prize. And a girl, as soon as we sleep, we connect. It's innate. It's in our DNA. Is that what that's called? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Where you release this bonding mechanism. You know, that's like how God created us. So don't sleep with him unless he's really the one or worth it. You'll be proud of yourself, and you have a different confidence when you haven't slept with them. You're kind of like, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
You turn into a schmuck as soon as you sleep with them. Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking about how much did my mother-in-law hear? But anyways, that would be my advice. I tell my girlfriends, and I have one friend that's single, and she's dating a really nice guy. And she's done a lot of those things. She didn't let him have the milk, and he's a good guy. And it's just keeping yourself protected, where if I could do something different, it would have been that. It would have been to wait for the right one. Still date, but be way more traditional and selective, so that he always respects me differently. Not that Jessica Simpson's book is so good. And when she met her husband, they did it the first night. She didn't make him wait that much. But they have we have
friends that have...
Yeah. And they're still the right one. I'm not saying it's not. Just for me, who I am, I have to feel more in control of myself and of the situation.
Yeah, I just think it helps you to keep a clearer head, to not get emotionally invested with the wrong person. It just gives you...
And it's just a hole.
Yeah.
Like, the hole doesn't feel good. Dress up the hole by protecting the hole. Protect the hole. We could start like a campaign. Yeah. Protect the hole. If you're anywhere from 18 to 40 and he's not the one, don't stay for one more day, because it does. Like, we had a friend that was engaged for this guy, and he was good to her. It wasn't just flowing. There was like some cultural differences, but he wasn't like a jerk. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he wasn't like abusive or
it wasn't
jerk.
like outward jerk.
I think that was the fine line, and he was successful.
He was a doctor.
Like a loser.
Yeah, they worked together. It was it wasn't bad. No. It wasn't like I was like, it's bad.
It wasn't meeting her emotional needs, though. Yeah. It was so obvious they weren't like emotionally compatible. It was like...
He was very distant. But anyways, he broke up with her before the wedding. Like, before the shower.
And she wasted years.
And then when it comes to having kids, that's harder because you're older. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so important that you don't stay in the wrong one. 18 to 40, 50, 60, don't stay. Because God always has a plan, and it's going to work out. And I remember... when I decided to wait for the right one after dating so many idiots, I was like, okay, I'm going to get in check with myself. I'm going to be the girl that I would want. Because sometimes we forget that we're not being the right girl that's going to attract the right guy. Me being at the bar every night, that's not a guy I want. But I was thinking, I'm bored, go out with my friends and have some drinks. And I was being an idiot.
Or you think, like, I'm a good girl at a bar, so I'll meet a good guy at a bar. But it doesn't always work like that.
I started running. That's when I was doing marathons. I started, like, getting my body in check because I just wasn't confident. So I really got it in check. I started hanging out with my family more, reading books. Teisha wouldn't have done those things. But I just, like, was like, I'm going to be the best version of myself, because Kyle only knows that version now. He doesn't know that idiot at the bar that was falling over. He only knows. And that's your foundation for your marriage, is that whole beginning. So, like, really get in check with who you are, become who you've always wanted to be. Because once you're married and you have kids, you have, like, tie downs. And it's harder to grow as a person, I think. Like, because I got crap to do. And I'm, like, being held to... Yeah. So, like, be the best version of yourself. And I feel like even with Ben, you were doing that same thing. You were, like... in your best version, and that's the only version he knows.
Yeah, and then also, like, when we started dating, I was very... I think another thing women can do is, it's okay. It's like, nowadays women are so scared to be like, to vocalize or to show that they're picky or selective. Like, I remember our first date, which was a double date with Crystal and Kyle. They set us up.
We introduced them. Ben was Kyle's good friend.
And so he tried to put his arm around me. We went to the Diamondbacks game, and I like shrugged it off. And I was like, yeah, no, you're not going to put your arm around me. And like, it sounds so stupid because it's like, okay, it was his arm. But I wanted him to know.
You earn it.
Yeah, like, you're not going to just put your arm around me. I'm not going to kiss you tonight. And I told him that night, I said, I'm not. Because he had a girlfriend, or it was actually engaged before, and they had broken it off. And it was kind of soon. That was one of my reserves, or one of the things I was reserved about going out with him. And Kyle and Crystal were like, no, it was bad.
Long done.
Yeah.
Before
and he's like,
really
it was
ended.
bad. They just hung on. So literally that night, I like grilled him, and I was like, yeah, I'm not dating, because at that point I was 28, and I was like, I'm not dating to like have a fling or to be someone's rebound. If you still want to get back with your ex, I'm not going to date you. There's no part of me that wants to be along for that ride. And I think that it's like, I was at the point in my life where I was like, let's just cut to the chase. I'm not going to waste any more time. And I feel like a lot of girls, they want to play like they're so cool.
Yeah.
And they're so fun and so easygoing. Like, then he's going to want to marry me. The guy doesn't really want the easygoing girl.
No.
I was the most opposite of easygoing.
Even in the beginning of your marriage, you were being easygoing.
Yeah.
And it was like,
and guys,
he wasn't
they don't
loving
want
it.
easygoing. They want someone with a backbone and a strong woman to be in a partner.
Yeah.
And so I think women, they try to act like they're so cool and so fun. And then when the guy's decking them, they're like shocked. And it's like, well, yeah, and they're not happy because they're not being themselves. I think it's like, I would say to single women, like, be upfront with what you want. And if they're not going to align with that, like, better to find out in the beginning.
Yeah, get out.
Yeah.
Because there will be one. I think that was my thing being single.
Yeah, he wasn't put off by me saying that. Because he wasn't like, it didn't freak him out. Because I think women are so scared to talk about future. But like, that's why we're dating.
Yeah.
You're not dating to date.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, yeah, I want to get married and have kids. Because all my friends at that point were married. I was like, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I'm not dating to date. And he was like, okay. And he wasn't like.
So was Kyle.
Yeah.
He wanted that too.
Because Kyle and I are the same. No, but like, it's okay as a woman, it's okay to have standards. It's okay to have, to be vocal about what you want and have those things. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. You don't need to be cool. You don't need to be fun. Like, I am cool and fun, so I can be a bitch too.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be.
Bitchies.
No, I did that with Kyle too. He's like, just bring your stuff here and get ready here. And I'm like, no, only my husband is going to get to see me get ready. And that was like a prized possession. You want to earn the husband.
Oh, I remember Ben was building a barbecue at his house, like a built-in, and he was like, hey, what color should I paint it? And I was like, I'm not picking out paint colors. Like, I was like, I don't know who you think you are. I'm not picking out paint colors for your house. That's your house. I'm like, I'll do that at my house with my husband when we're married. And like, psycho.
But it's like something they earn. And nowadays, they don't have to earn it.
Yeah.
They don't have to. And a guy should pay for you. If he's not going to pay for you, how's he going to take care of you?
If a guy's not paying, run
for the hills. Run for the hills.
Whacked.
Yeah. And really don't sleep with them. They didn't even pay for dinner.
Oh, it's bad.
$20, $30, $50.
Yeah.
A prostitute's way more than that.
Totally.
Come on, girls. We've learned the hard way, so that's why we're just trying to help if I can.
The great thing is sometimes you can mess everything up and God still has a plan.
Oh, I love that.
You can still get to the right place. I did not do everything perfect. I was totally an idiot so many times, but I did get it figured out before.
I agree. My brother told me that once. We went to dinner and I was lost in my 20s. 20s are hard.
Yeah.
Because people are starting to settle down and maybe you're ready and maybe you're not.
And today, like, we didn't even have online dating. Like, I feel bad for the singles
I do too.
Today.
And my brother said, here's where you are and here's where God wants you to be. And he had 2 fingers on the table. He said, you can go the straight way and get there God's way, or you can make mistakes and go around. But the good news is you're always still going to get here because that's grace. And I think sometimes when we are making bad choices, guilt and shame set in and we feel farther from God. Mm-hmm. We feel like we're unworthy. And that's of the world. God, he always loves and accepts us. I mean, this is getting preachy, but it's the truth. Because when you're alone on that island, I remember I was like, faith is believing in something you can't see. And I know who I want in my heart. And I know God laid those things on my heart for me, for my husband. But the faith part is waiting for it and knowing it's out there and not settling. Don't settle. And anything in life, don't settle.
Yeah.
My goal moving forward, Teisha hates goals, but this week I'm going to try to be a girlfriend again, be nice to Kyle, scratch his back. He really likes that stuff. I always make him his meals. He loves when I make him a lunch. You know what I really have been wanting to do? And I'm going to say this to you and to our listeners.
Is this accountability?
The 2 of them. We don't know if there's any listeners ever, but no, but it's true. They say to me, say your goals out loud, even though you don't like that stuff. But
who's they?
Craig Rochelle.
Yeah, okay.
And you love Craig Rochelle too.
He looks just like Ben.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we had like a camera and we could put him side by side.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it.
But I want to wake up. He would love if I woke up with him before work one day. And like he loves having a friend in the morning. But I'm going to try to do it just one day a week.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Maybe try a different position?
Yeah. Whoa. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not a big talk about your goals right now person. I'm just going to be better.
In the bedroom?
No, we just did the closet yesterday.
Oh, wow. That is. Yeah, you love closets.
Yeah, I came home on lunch break and I said, closeties?
Did you really?
Yeah, 100%. Closeties? And then he was like, okay.
Yeah, that was good.
So I feel like I'm kind of nailing it this week. Apparently, Crystal always laughs. She's always like, you can't say those things out loud.
I tell my kids, let other people compliment you. Don't compliment yourself.
And it's not like a compliment. It's more of an observation.
Yeah.
You know?
Is there any area you think you could improve on?
Oh, you know what I can do? Yeah. I can do some more laundry and housework because he does get very stressed about that. I don't get as stressed about that. Like, I can still focus when there's like crap all over. He really loses it. So I'm going to focus on having the house really clean for him because he loves that.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I've had a week.
Can you turn it up?
Sure.
Or is it because I have these on?
Yeah.
It's coming through here perfectly.
Oh, I'm gonna die. At least you're here. We can make her laugh. It was sex, too.
Crystal.
She might not answer. She might be so mortified.
Interesting was so funny.
Interesting is like her. She always answers, too.
Crystal?
Hey, Bonnie.
What the heck were you doing? I listened to that quite a bit.
I'm crying. I was like, we were like talking and I kept hearing like something moving around. And Teisha points to my watch and she's all, your phone. And I'm all, Bonnie. And I was like, I told it on the podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, we just called my mother-in-law. We were talking about sex. That's so embarrassing. No, it's so embarrassing. We're to just do, Teisha and I are starting a podcast. And we're telling women to close their legs. Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Why not, Bonnie? Why not?
Just to do it?
Yeah, we think we're pretty funny together. We want people, we want to talk about marriage, kids, dating. And we were telling girls, stop sleeping around. You're losers. That's the part you were listening to. Probably.
Yeah.
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 I even told the story of when you came to Kyle's house and I was in the bed and you got pissed at him.
Yeah.
We weren't doing anything, though. We were good.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, what all did you hear?
Just about like going to the gas station, getting gas.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about how like my ex-boyfriend told me I was an idiot, that I wanted him to follow me to the gas station. And Kyle, just on his own, always would follow me to the gas station because he's a good guy. And when you find the good guy, it shouldn't be that hard because you raised him right.
Well, Lance never went to the gas station with me.
That's funny. All right.
If you're really struggling, please reach out to a qualified professional, because that's not us,
We're just here to share our journey
and to make you laugh
and cry
and pick your nose.
and touch your boobs.